in the state of Good afternoon. This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Jesha, Osun State. Here's the global news at 12. First, the headlines. I am Shodunke Opeyemi David. President Tinubu departs Lagos for South Africa to attend inauguration of President Cyril Ramaphosa. Boat missile claims lives of over 60 people off the coast of southern Italy. Israel's Prime Minister dissolves war cabinet. President Bola Tinubu is expected to have left Lagos today for South Africa. He will be going there to attend the inauguration of the second term in office of his South African counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa. President Tinubu is expected in the country after the ceremony. The inauguration of President Ramaphosa follows re-election as the president. Muslim faithfuls across the country are still celebrating this year's Layla festival. Yesterday and today are being observed as holiday. Traffic is light in most parts of Osun State capital, Osogbo, as well as along the Lagos-Akure-Ondo highway, as most people have traveled out to be with their loved ones. Work will resume tomorrow all across the country. The Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, has reviewed plans by the United Arab Emirates government to lift the visa ban imposed on Nigerian travelers soon. Keyamo noted that the resolution has been reached between President Bola Tinubu and the UAE President Mohammed Zayed during Tinubu's visit to UAE in September 2023. According to him, UAE had initially listed additional processes to be met before the ban could be officially lifted, but the Nigerian government has since completed all processes, paving the way for the announcement by the UAE government. The lifting of the ban is expected to result to ease of travel for Nigerian citizens to the UAE, thereby enhancing bilateral relations and cooperation between the two countries. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) has threatened a white big stick against airlines flying into restricted areas in the country. The Aviation Authority said this after it received a letter from the Office of National Security Advisor reporting sighting of an unknown aircraft flying over the presidential villa. The NCAA, in a letter, warned airline operators in Nigeria that such violations will be liable to sanction, prosecution, or both by the authority. It further stated that the intruding aircraft might risk being met with their consequence. The United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF) says the recurrent cholera outbreak in Nigeria is telling on the children and the population at large. This bit of news was made public in Lagos by the UNICEF Field Office Chief, Celine Alafisel. She said children under the age of 5 were worse hit since they were prone to dehydration. She urged the government to focus on the provision of clean and risk-free water to prevent the spread of cholera across the country. The UNICEF Lagos field chief made it clear that good water and proper sanitation infrastructure is going to play a crucial part in reducing the outbreak, such as cholera. The Lagos Water Corporation (LWC) has initiated comprehensive measures to safeguard public health and ensure access to safe drinking water across the state. This is following the recent cholera outbreak in some parts of the state. The corporation has commended an extensive water sampling and quality monitoring campaign throughout the state. This proactive initiative is aimed to assess the safety and potability of water from various sources, thereby identifying potential health risks associated with contamination. The LWC urges the public to refrain from consuming water from unreliable and untreated sources and encourage residents to bring water samples from their homes and public. Global news is reaching you on Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Jesha, Osun State. The news will continue shortly. Now to the rest of the news. We hear that more than 80 terrorists have been sent to their graves following an airstrike by the Nigerian Air Force. The airstrike took place at the Gidankari village in the Fashaku local government of Katsina State. The Air Force said the strike became necessary following intelligence reports that terrorists were burning houses at a settlement 5 kilometers away from the village. Meanwhile, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has given his men a pat on the back for taking steps at the diminishing the, the capabilities of terrorist elements in the northwest. The head of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, James Stoltenberg, has a word for China. John Stoltenberg, in a chat with newsmen, asked China to change its ways or face consequences for supporting Russia's war in Ukraine. The NATO chief made it clear that Belgium was trying to get it both ways by supporting Russia and at the same time trying to maintain relationships with European allies. Russia has made it clear that the war would end only with Russia surrenders. Russian President Vladimir Putin is about now on his way to the North Korea capital for a meeting with his counterpart Kim Jong-un. This will put Putin's first visit to North Korea since 2000. The US and some have accused North Korea of supplying Russia with artilleries and other equipment in exchange for food. Both countries have denied the existence of an armed deal but have vowed to beef up military ties. Since Russia invaded Crimea, Putin has become a pariah to the West and has been seeking allies elsewhere. At least 11 people have died and more than 60 others missing after the shipwreck off the coast of southern Italy. In one of the shipwrecks, 10 bodies were recovered from a boat near the island of Lampa- Lampedusa. Both boats were carrying migrants who set off from Libya and Turkey. Most of the migrants were coming from Syria, Egypt, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Most of the victims on both boats were children. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dissolved the six-man war cabinet. This followed the resignation of key members Ben Gantz and Gadi Eisenkot. A government spokesman hinted that the pre-existing security cabinet and the large cabinet would make decisions concerning the war with Hamas in Gaza. The two former Israeli defense chiefs resigned earlier this month on grounds that the prime minister's leadership was preventing them from approaching true victory over Hamas. Just before we go, a quick look at the major highlight of the news. President Bola Tinubu is expected to have left Lagos today for South Africa. We also told you that at least 11 people have died and more than 60 others missing after a shipwreck off the coast of southern Italy. And you also heard that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dissolved a six-members war cabinet. That was global news, which came to you on Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Ijesha, Osun State. Thank you for listening. And on behalf of the news production supervisor, Wilson Akpabio, I am Shodunke Opeyemi David, asking you to stay tuned.